most everybody here said they don't want to acquiesce and say farewell to Jarren Duran, even though the Padres might give you some value there.
Oh, that would be stupid.
Huh?
That would be stupid.
Why
by
would
the Red
that be
Sox.
stupid?
You don't give away one of your best players.
Well, you're trying to get Roman Anthony up here.
Yeah, okay.
So you ease things when it comes to your outfield, and you're providing some value for the future.
No, but isn't Duran part of your future?
Yes.
Isn't he young?
Is he?
Yes.
Are you gonna be? This team seems to be in the mode where they want a bunch of young guys who haven't reached their $25 million annual salary mark. And so are they not going to part with Jiren Duran in a couple, 2-3 years anyway?
No, because you would then, I think, re-sign him because you're not in a rebuilding stage. You brought in Garrett Crochet. You made moves for your team to get better, not to rebuild. I could see if you weren't adding pieces like that and you were like, all right, we're going to rebuild this whole thing. I think you re-sign Duran, you bring up Anthony, you move Ceddanne, Rafael. You can actually keep Ceddanne in the outfield because at the game last night they had I know Willie Abreu plays right field.
Yeah.
But do they feel like that's somebody that they see in their future? Because if not, you could have Anthony and Abreu kind of bouncing back and forth between right field if you wanted to keep Ceddanne in the outfield. If not, you just move Ceddanne to the infield.
And Devers is going to shortstop, so, you got that solved.
Right.
He's going to shortstop.
Oh, yeah.
We just hit our sports quota for the hour. Good job.
That's where he was taking grounders, Wiggy. Were you not there last night?
Yeah, I was there,
for
but
warm-ups?
I wasn't there for warm-up.
Oh. Yeah. Guy is giving everybody a big, giant middle finger. That's what Rafael Devers is doing.
If you want to talk about autographs to bring this full circle, Pedro Martinez would pregame sign autographs like you read about for all the employees, for everybody. Nobody was ever more generous with their time than that guy.
Yeah.
But
all right, so that's it on the sports quotient. We can't do any more on that?
No, we can keep doing it, but that was the limit. That's what we're
So
allotted.
I'm just asking. I'm asking the question. Somebody in the Twitch chat said Greg hates Rafi Devers. I don't hate anybody. I love everybody. But why? What is the point of him being out there last night in front of everybody, taking grounders at short?
I don't know that
What's
one.
the point of it? You explain it to me, because you're his mouthpiece.
I have no idea what that one's all about.
You're his hype man.
Yeah, I can't answer that one for you.
Why is he, if not to just say, hey, F you, this is what is that where he wants to play now? Is that what he's doing?
I had no
He's
no
not
clue
going to
about
touch
this.
first base. He's not going to touch third base.
I thought he was fine at DH.
That's what he said.
Until you said he's taking
I
ground
don't think
ball.
he's going to move.
I
I
don't
think
know
that he
what
was
that
just
one's all
doing
about.
this to maybe it was an FU.
Butter Guy says, Greg, you do dislike him. Please stop making him out to be the bad guy. Wow, I'm making him out to be the bad guy now. That's how that's happening.
Yeah,
the way I'm spinning it is that he is a guy who is unwilling to help the team out when the team needs it. And so I'm just making that up. That's not what Rafael Devers appears to be.
well, the team screwed him over in the beginning,
Yeah.
so I
They
think
did?
it depends.
They're paying him $30 million a year. How do you screw somebody over when you're paying him $30 million a year?
because you set him up to fail in the beginning of the season.
It didn't seem like he failed.
He did.
Why not just leave him at third base then?
Well, you had a guy who was better at third base. So,
Well, don't you have guys that are better at first base, but you want to put him there? If you don't want to mess up the chemistry of the team, and that's more important, leave him at third, put Bregman at second.
Because Bregman also said he would play second.
Yeah, you could have easily done that.
Right. And Rafi Devers could have accepted the fact that a year prior he said we need better players in the team. The team did that, and then he bitched.
Well,
But then he bitched because they didn't make it obvious to him that he was not going to play third. If you believe that Alex Cora said to him, hey, man, no, it's going to be between you and Bregman. I don't know who's going to play third. Maybe we'll split your time. We're going to try it out in the beginning of the season. I don't think that's what happened. Like, I think that he told Rafi Devers something that didn't end up being true.
Yeah, that's why I said I put this more on the organization, because if they would have got out ahead of this in the off season, as soon as they signed Bregman, then I think we wouldn't be in this position.
So a team can treat you poorly, so it's okay for you to be unprofessional?
Well, I don't think it's okay. No,
so
no.
you're excusing it.
I didn't say it's okay, but I can see somebody being petty.
Right. So, but you're defending someone for being petty.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I'm saying that I understand why he's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it.
Right.
We all wish that he was handling it
Right.
differently.
Yeah,
but
but the organization, if they handle it differently, we're not in this position. So then we don't even have to worry about him being petty.
So you'd rather the Red Sox without Bregman?
No, I'd rather the Red Sox have handled the situation in the beginning, in the offseason, so when you get to spring training, there is no issue. They did not do that. Yep. They could have easily sat down Cora, Breslow, Kennedy, could have easily sat down with Devers in the offseason and saying, hey, we're going to bring Bregman in, and he's going to play third.
Did Alex Cora not say last week that when talking to him about playing third base currently, because they're in a pinch, he was, quote, not having it? Did Alex Cora say that? Okay, so why is he out there last night then? If he's not having it.
Yeah, because maybe he's saying, I'll help out. I'll play shortstop.
As of now, he's not having it.
Maybe there's one position.
I'll help out. I'll play the most difficult position in the infield.
Yeah.
If that's the one you want to give me, because that's
as of now, he's not having it.
That's the only thing I'm taking.
Right.
Seems like a giant FU to me.
It might be, but the reason you're in this FU situation is because you as an organization didn't get ahead of this. You should have got out in front of it. Is Devers being a little petty? Maybe he is. I understand why. But if you do your job as an organization when you know you're going to bring in a guy to replace Devers at his position, you should have made sure you sat down and talked to him and did it's the same way that, and it's not kind of the same way, but players just tend to be petty. Brady was petty when you signed Garoppolo down in Cleveland. You heard Joe Flacco say, I'm not here to mentor no young guys. Guys are going to get petty when they feel like you're putting somebody in a position.
And there's been so many things said. And if I'm Devers, I'm hearing Craig Breslow on this show or others on this station say, oh, we're not going to move. When Bregman first got hurt, we're not going to move Rafi to third because we don't want to mess with him because he's figuring out DH right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, now because you guys didn't have a plan in place for if Tristan Cassis went down at first base, now you want to take me out of the role that you have me in that I'm finally figuring out and put me there? Like, make that make sense.
Right. And why can't Cora just pick up the phone and call Devers before they sign Bregman and say, here's what we're thinking about?
Because he would have acted the same baby-like way that he acted now.
Maybe he would have, but by the time
the result would have been the same.
No, but by the time
he would have done a press conference with his translator and said, I want to play third base, and I don't think Alex Bregman ought to be taking my position.
No, but who knows?
It would have happened earlier.
But you don't know that Cora might have been able to talk to him beforehand and convince him to maybe go to another position, or maybe he does go kicking and screaming. But this is not an issue that we're dealing with now because you would have had everything taken care of.
And why does it all fall on Rafi at the end of the day? Like, why didn't they have a plan in place? Shouldn't they have guys ready to go if somebody gets hurt? The Red Sox have dealt with injuries the last 4 seasons. That's been their crux. That's been what they've said every single year is the reason why they don't end up playing in October.
Well, maybe their plan in place was that the guy who played the position would go back and play it.
But at first?
Somebody who's willing, at third.
Okay, no. But what about at first?
Right.
I guess.
So then why not move Bregman?
I can't. Let's just say it's like I agree that Cora could have done things better in the offseason.
Okay, so
the team's better with Bregman at third. Everybody, I think, can agree to that.
Yeah, we can agree to that. But the team is probably better with whether it's Campbell, whether it's Sogard, whether it's Gonzalez, or whether it's Toro. They're probably better with them at first than Devers.
Did you do the Toro more when you were in Stowe, Greg? Or did you have a guy?
No, I had a guy.
Oh, of course.
So why are you not saying that? Why don't I hear?
It was a week, basically, that they needed him at first base.
But why do I not hear that?
It was a week and a half.
But why am I not hearing that?
Hearing what?
You just said Bregman's better than Devers at third? Why am I not hearing these other guys are better than Devers at first?
Because they're
needed him
not.
for like a week and a half over there.
Right. What do you mean?
Like, what's the big deal? Like, what's the big?
It's a much less important position. It's much more easy to field than third base. That's why.
Right, but you don't think that Christian Campbell is a better first baseman or Romy Gonzalez is a better first baseman?
No, Christian
Romy
Campbell
was
can't
out
hit.
with an injury. You get that?
Yeah.
That's when they needed him.
But so you had Sogard and Toro playing there, who are better defenders than he is.
Okay. Well,
You're just looking for a reason to blame Devers.
They want what they want with him playing a positional spot in the infield is the addition of his bat in the lineup.
But Wiggy,
I
at the
get
crux
that.
of it, Wiggy.
I get that. But you're using this as an excuse to blame Devers.
I'm not.
His bat is in the lineup.
As a DH.
Yeah.
You can add another bat to the lineup, like the one you're paying $70 million, if you have him positionally in the field. Like, you get that, right?
And we can both agree. We all agree, Wiggy. We think Devers is petty, right?
Yeah, I said that.
Okay, that's it. We all agree. You just don't think it's as big a deal for someone to be petty?
And
it's fine.
Do we agree that there's better options at first base?
Not in the week that separated the injuries, no. I thought you have to combine the bat with the glove. It's both.
Yeah, but see, I don't understand because this is the part that I think Courtney and I look at as going, this is just annoying and fraudulent, is because when you wanted him gone from third base, everybody said move him to DH.
I feel like I'm arguing with James right now. It's like
but how do you think I feel when you keep going back to he can't play third, we want him to DH.
Right.
Then he moves.
Thank you,
then he moves to DH, and now you're going a horrible third baseman you want to now put at first base.
Right, because things occur over the course of a Major League Baseball season where you have different needs depending on the time of the player's injuries.
Right.
So that's why it's not even applicable. I don't know why you keep going back to that.
Because they're a better positional.
Do you think we'd be talking about Devers playing third if Bregman never got hurt?
No.
Okay, so then what are we even doing? It's all related to the issues with the roster.
No, it all started with Rafi Devers not playing first base or helping out at first base.
You just want to help him out a little bit.
It has nothing to do with third base. It's all about,
you could get Roman Anthony up here and DH Roman Anthony.
And I could ask you the same.
You could do a million things.
I could ask you the same question, Wiggy. Why did Devers want to play third and then not want to play third? Why did he flip flop? Because you keep saying, why am I saying this? Why did Devers say, I want to be a third baseman? Then he's asked to play third, and he said no.
Because he came up his whole career as a third baseman with the intention of being a third baseman.
Right, so why didn't you want to play it?
He wanted to play it.
After he figured out DH and after Bregman, when he left for his wife to give birth, they said that they weren't going to put him in that position because he finally figured out DH. I feel like if I'm Rafael Devers...
What do you have to figure out if you're a third baseman? He said he was a better hitter when he played the field.
What are you even talking?
Yeah, you interrupted me, and now it's.
I'm confused with your thought process.
Give me the mute button, Tony Reale.
So it's Devers' fault because he didn't want to go to first base. Now it's Devers' fault because Bregman got hurt and he didn't want to go back to third base. Like,
hold on, let me get Jake. Jake from Quincy. What's up, Jake?
Wiggy, you sound so stupid, honestly, and fraudulent. Go tell Bill Belichick you wouldn't change positions. You sound ridiculous. You too, Courtney. It's for the team. It's not about him. God damn.
Yeah,
but Jake, isn't there better players like that could play the position? You sound fraudulent.
It's easy for all of us to sit back and say, if I be a better teammate, a better teammate. If I'm Devers, I'm like, F this organization. They've screwed me over left and right. I don't care if I'm making $30 million. I'd also love to see his contract because everybody's saying, oh, well, you know, if I did this at my work, I'd be fired.
Right.
What if his contract says like he can only play a certain
Well, as
position?
Cora told you, the guy who signed the contract no longer is here.
Right. And people like Jake and all these people complaining about Devers are so phony and fake because their biggest thing was from day one, Devers stinks at third base. He's horrible.
Yep.
Go to DH. He goes to DH.
It was horrible when he started.
Starts off slow, and people like Devers stink. Then he catches fire. He's been your best hitter for a while now. And now people are like, oh, he's petty because he won't play third base for a week or he won't go to first base for a week. But those were the same people saying he sucks, get him out of the field.
All right. So
They're
maybe
so
he just,
phony.
Maybe he just had a sudden urge last night to get out there and field a few grounders at shortstop.
He's probably like, you know what?
I just wanted to do that and just see what the reaction was from the fans.
It's like spending the whole spring training bitching about how much better you are when you play the field, then getting an opportunity to play in field and say you're not into it. I don't know.
How about
call me crazy?
How about
How about your beautiful night here at Fenway? You know what I feel like doing? Toss me my glove. I think I'll go out to shortstop and field a few grounders.
How about your $7 million a year manager who's supposed to be one of the best managers in baseball when it comes to handling players, gets ahead of this and sits down with Devers before the season even starts, so this isn't an issue.
Or preparing for if one of your guys gets hurt and you have a backup at first base.
And stop comparing Bill Belichick and football players to baseball players.
Whoa.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
There, Jake.
Well, it's so stupid. Well, Bill would never say, hey, Wiggy, we want you to go play the defensive line. It's like the dumbest thing ever. Stop with the comparisons. Baseball and football and other sports are totally different. It would be like telling Patrice Bergeron, you know what? We need you to play goalie now.
Okay.
Dumb.
Bill Belichick did tell Mike Vrabel, we need you to catch a pass here or there in the end zone.
He told Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel said, thumbs up, Bill.
He told Mike Vrabel.
Whatever you need. Whatever you need, boss man.
He said, Mike, here's what we're going to do.
Save that.
You're a good athlete. We're going to put you in on goal line. Brady's going to do a play action fake and run a crossing route or a corner route. And if you're wide open, catch the football. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Yep. Fourier got screwed.
Yeah, exactly. That's all he did. He had other guys that could